The sixth Dalai Lama wrote, he said, if one's thoughts towards spirituality were of the same intensity as those towards love, one would become a Buddha in this very body, in this very life. I really had to laugh when I read this. It's sort of one of the advantages of getting older. You're on a quicker track, if you will, to becoming a Buddha, because you realize, for the most part, probably you're not going to live as long as a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. But in the same spirit of this, Nagarjuna wrote, even offering 300 bowls of food 3 times a day does not match the spiritual merit gained in one moment of love. So what is love? Now, all the young people who are in the path of love, are really happy to hear that. But we really need to look at what we mean by love, because love is not just the ordinary love that we know when we fall in love with someone. In Buddhist practice, we could say that love is that feeling of really wanting others to be happy. And in my little job as a priestly person, lots of couples have come through my life, hoping to get couples counseling. In fact, sometimes I feel that I'm, my little gold room is really a kind of Valentine's room, where people are confessing their love for this person. And that now Upaya is rather renowned for so many people falling in love. This is a little unusual, I think, at the rate of people falling in love. In the average Zen center, it's a little slower. But it might be because our mean age is quite young. But could be other things as well. And in these encounters with couples, it's very interesting because I have to say, we studied Norman Fisher's 8 stages of monastic practice, and those stages are a bit like falling in love. And they go from idealization to commitment, and then commitment in flight, and then settling down, and then finally, reality prevails and everything becomes real and ordinary. And the question that I have often posed to a couple sitting in my Dokusan room dealing with relational issues is, well, let's say just one half of the equation is in there. And I'll say, what do you really think will serve your partner? Mostly what you hear is, I'm not getting something out of this relationship I need. Instead of the Buddhist mentality of what will really serve this person's liberation. It's a completely different perspective that we try to open up in Buddhism. Understanding that love is really about what is going to, in the Matthew Ricard sense of happiness, not pleasure, pleasure being transitory, happiness being a steady state few of us access. What will really make this one happy? How to nurse this one's happiness? And often love in Buddhism is linked with the word kindness. And that linkage points to something really special. That it's a quality of love that is embedded in a deep sense of caring. It's not a possessed love, a mania. It's not eros, but it's love is coupled with kindness in Buddhism. And the word For love in Buddhism, in the Sanskrit, it's Maitri. In the Pali, it's Metta. And it's loving kindness. It's not just a mental state, while it is also that, but it's also a relational process. Loving kindness. And of course, the near enemy of love is conditional love. That's very difficult for us to recognize. The far enemy, being hate, is easy to feel, it's easy to identify. But the near enemy of love is really difficult, particularly since we don't think in altruistic terms, or we don't feel in altruistic terms. We don't love altruistically. We love this person because he is or she is, can give me this, can complete me, which is so often what we feel. I know, because I felt this person really completes my life. Until 3 years later, this person's destroying my life. He's completing it, he's destroying. We've heard it, right? So love is fundamentally about unselfishness and service. And it's also, I'm sorry to say, about non-attachment. I remember years ago, Lawrence Rockefeller gave me a beautiful little sculpture that a Japanese man gave to him. He was very fond of me. And it was of a hand with another hand over it, but kind of cupped. And when you opened up the top hand, there was a little bird inside of it, just about to fly away. And he said, that's how I feel about you. You have to both hold, be a vessel, embrace in love, but you also have to liberate, let go in love. Not squeeze to death that which you love, because when you do that, it becomes a love object. And of course, one of our biggest learnings is how we create objects of each other, how we objectify that which seems to be close, but even not close, external to us.